Live meteorologist Mike Prengley here in Tampa, St. Pete, and we've got meteorologist Lee Southwick from First Coast News, home of the most accurate forecast. Great to see you, Lee.
Great to see you. Happy Saturday morning. Happy big start to football season.
I know. Can you tell I have a little extra pep in my voice? I mean, I love my football season. I wore special color here. I think you're going to like this, Lee. I wore the Gator colors this morning. I see you've got the Gator blue, and I've got the orange, so we're doing great here.
I love it. You know what? You just reminded me. I can't believe I took them off. I had orange earrings, so
yeah.
I'm now bummed I'm not wearing it. But you and I on the same wavelength. Obviously, you can see which team we're cheering for today.
Yeah, I even found some blue shoes to go with. There was a big sale, so I had to get some blue shoes, orange shirt. So the Gators, of course, kick off tonight at 7 o'clock. We'll have that forecast and all your sports forecasts. But first, keeping you and your family safe. We're talking about a weekend that will have some rain here in Tampa. Lee, not quite as significant as the East Coast. I really tried to make that point. I really don't think we're the bullseye. I think it's more closer to your neck of the woods. What do you think?
Yeah, that's why we got a weather impact alert today. We are expecting numerous showers and storms. We've already had showers this morning so far. We have some downpours out there right now and more on the way. And then, Mike, I know that you guys will also receive rain like we will tomorrow. Do you have a weather impact alert in effect for tomorrow?
We do. Okay, so in fact, we could have some rain in the morning and the afternoon. So instead of that 1 to 2 hours and pulse storms like we're seeing today, tomorrow would be our day. Whereas it looks like, because the front is over St. Johns County right now, looking like it's second south maybe of the Road Golf Village. It looks like it's your turn probably both today and at least tomorrow, right?
Yeah, so we'll have these scattered to numerous showers and thunderstorms. As you mentioned, we have that front draped over us, so we've already had rain this morning. We'll have more this afternoon and this evening. Something I want to have people take away, though, from this, because I know it's a holiday weekend and people don't want to stay cooped up inside all day, unless you're watching football all day, which I absolutely agree with, but it's not going to be an all-day rain. So for instance, right now, a lot of us, we have a break in the rain, but we will have more rain later. So if you are getting outside at any point this weekend, today, tomorrow, or Monday, you will see those showers and thunderstorms roll through at different times. So you'll have to keep an eye on radar, and we'll of course alert you if anything becomes strong, because we do have the potential for some stronger storms later on today as well. So Mike, I don't know if you want me to take it away first with Jacksonville, or do you want to do a big picture setup first for the entire state of Florida?
Yeah, ladies first. I say we take it away from Jacksonville because that's the main concern for today, and then I'll take it away from Tampa, and we're actually it's going to be a complementing each other as always. We'll have that front first for you, and then moving our way, and I'll share our rainy details for tomorrow.
Perfect. All right. So if my directors wouldn't mind taking my graphics for me, I'm going to start with a look around the First Coast. So most of us can see that right now it's just cloudy for a lot of us out there. You had the showers earlier. Now it's not the prettiest of days, a little bit dreary out there. However, some of you getting a good bit of rain. This is a live look out from Brunswick, where a downpour is moving through right now. So a closer look at the radar for the First Coast shows that, yes, a good bit of us now on the drier side of things. However, we do have some downpours popping again, mainly across southeast Georgia. So we'll keep an eye on those. But notice Brunswick to St. Simon's Island and even portions of Jekyll Island now about to see that rain too. So heavier rain moving through there. And then we have a few spotty, well, I'll say isolated sprinkles popping up across places like Nassau County, getting close to Duval County. And we've been keeping an eye on Flagler County too. So right now, as mentioned, we have that break, but more rain on the way, not only today, but tomorrow too. So we have weather impact alerts in effect for both of these days, today and tomorrow. Waves of rain and storms, not an all-day washout, but when the rain arrives, it could be heavy. We could have these downpours out there that could lead to the potential of isolated flooding, ponding on the roadways, low-lying areas, seeing that rain and that water collection, especially tomorrow if the downpours pop up where we see downpours today. So a double whammy there. That's when you could get some of that flooding. But also today, with the thunderstorms that pop up later on this afternoon and early this evening, they could potentially be strong. We'll have to watch out for gusty winds, maybe even some water spouts. So if you are outside today on the boat, going to the beach, you have to keep shelter nearby. You have to be able to move inside quickly. If you see one of those thunderstorms moving towards you, if you hear thunder, you will have to get to shelter quickly. Also at the beaches today, there's a moderate rip current risk. But if you have plans to go to the beach Sunday or Monday on Labor Day, the rip current risk increases. There's a high risk of rip currents Sunday, Monday, and even into Tuesday because we'll have breezy onshore winds. So the winds are going to pick up. And so that means on our Sunday, we will be dealing with a little bit more of a breeze. Temperatures will still be in the 80s. We'll still have those passing downpours and thunderstorms. And then on Labor Day, I don't think it's going to be as much rain, but still scattered showers and storms. And it'll be very breezy that day. Winds out of the northeast 10 to 20 miles an hour. So if you're outside at any point in the Jacksonville area on the First Coast over the next 3 days, make sure that you are keeping your umbrella or your poncho nearby and keep an eye on the radar. We're going to, of course, bring you updates with that too. But I just want everyone to be so careful because so many people are outside this weekend. I get it. It's just that we could have some pretty strong weather out there, especially with the thunderstorms later on today.
Well, Lee, I'm not blaming you for this forecast. I'm just making sure you get that straight. I mean, we're just the messengers, right?
We are, but I even our very own Jasmine Monroe here, she's throwing out the first pitch tonight at the Jumbo Shrimp game, which I will have that forecast in a little bit. But she said if she doesn't do a good pitch, she's blaming me because of the rain. And you know what? That's fine. That's okay.
Yeah, I think she's going to do just fine. I'm not worried about her. I need to be in Power Alley cheering her on. That sounds like a lot of fun.
It will be a lot of fun. Yeah, we're just going to try the best to hold off the rain. Hopefully we can clear it out in time for all the games across the state.
Exactly. And now, hey, we'll have some sporting event forecasts coming up. In fact, we've got Jacksonville visiting Tampa tonight. It's going to be a huge game. We'll get to that soccer forecast, but first, it all starts with food. And I saw Jasmine Monroe cooking in the studio all these good tacos. And I was trying to do my weather here in Tampa. I said, oh my gosh, I'm so hungry right now. She did a great job. So maybe save a taco for me. Put one in the fridge.
Okay, I'll let you know I tried the salmon taco. I actually walked over to the kitchen and barged in because it smelled so good.
Yes.
I've never had salmon on a taco. It was so good. But anyway, sorry to interrupt. Go ahead.
Oh, you're good. I want to hear more about the salmon taco. But hey, for tacos, and some folks do taco on the grills, I'm going to go over the weather wall and take a look at some Tampa weather here on the west side of the state. And we take a look at that grill cast. So what I did is I got the green spatulas. I got all these spatulas out there, red and yellow. Of course, green means good. Red, you don't want to kind of stay away from. And again, we're not blaming me or Lee for that. And then it looks like as we go into Labor Day, a little bit better grill out weather. But a 9 out of 10 is our grill out cast for today. All right, that's for Tampa. Now, if you're in Jacksonville, it's going to be more like the 3. But that front in Jacksonville coming our way is going to bring us down to a 3. All right, we're not blaming Jacksonville either. But Sunday, we will have to be more flexible with when we fire up the grill and light the grill and get ready. Maybe that salmon taco sounds really good. And then on Monday, we're back up to a 6. That front kind of settles south, kind of relaxes a bit. Okay, so I think as we go into Monday, looking good. We're not going to have that northeast wind off the ocean like they are on the east coast of Florida. So I still think you get a northeast wind in Jacksonville area. It's tough to stay dry. So for us, at least, I think we'll have more dry hours on Monday because we're on the opposite side of the state. We take a look at our tradition we've started here on the weekends, the skew teas. All right, so there you go. You got Jacksonville versus Tampa. And right now, Jacksonville is winning big as far as a saturated atmosphere as we go through today. And that's why Lee's calling for rounds of rain and why there's a weather impact alert for 2 days in a row. And then you check the Tampa skew teas. Yeah, not quite as moist. In fact, the PWs dropped from about 2.3 in PWs fuel heavy rain events to only about 1.7 here. So the higher that number, yeah, that means more likelihood you can get some more of those downpours and some possible localized flooding and things like that. Still can't rule out a strong storm or two here in Jacksonville. That's a lot of effective wind shear we'll be watching this afternoon. The question is, how much instability will there be to work with? If we can pop some sunshine out there, and maybe in sections of Lake City to Putnam County, we'll keep an eye on it. But for now, we're talking about rain as the big thing for Jacksonville. And here in Tampa, of course, we're watching just these brief isolated showers, more of our pulse type showers or storms that aren't going to last long based on these atmospheric profiles. So what Lee and I do before we get the forecast together, we look at all levels. We look at the ground, we look at the 5, 10, 20,000 foot sectors and come up with the forecast. And here's what it is in color. Okay, it's almost like going to color TV from black and white, right? So we got beautiful colors, not so beautiful for outdoor plants. So we talked about the Jacksonville Jumbo Shrimp tonight. There's a lot of moisture around Duval. So where you see the deeper oranges, that's what's going to feed your heavier rain event. And then you go farther south here in Tampa, we got a little bit of drier weather to work with, right? Because we're not as close to the front. We're not getting as much lift or moisture in the atmosphere, and that's why we've kept our rain chances to 30%. We're holding off on that weather impact alert till tomorrow. Sound good? Okay. And as you go into Sunday, here it is. It changes. All the bright oranges from Jacksonville start to sink to the south with the front over Tampa. It looks like maybe even southeast Georgia up toward Jekyll Island, maybe getting a little break in that rain. And then as we go into Monday, Labor Day, still a lot of bright colors. I would favor some of the heavier rain across the state south of Tampa on Sunday based on this. So we're talking about areas of Manatee, DeSoto counties, Highlands County, and points south. So it could be pretty soggy there. And again, for Tampa and Jacksonville, not all day rains on Labor Day, and maybe even a few more breaks. But again, watching that northeast wind off the Atlantic for our friends on the first coast. So here at home, here's our weather story. It's about seizing the sunshine. We said this is our day. So you see the Ascent St. Pete camera, and just want to give you a little relaxing view of the St. Pete Pier. There's a gorgeous sunrise and some of the clouds from the front to our north, just reminding us, yeah, that front's not far away and it's on the way for tomorrow. So we'll have the rain gear handy and we'll have our weather apps handy. And as we look at our Labor Day weekend forecast in detail, notice we've got that 30% chance today. Tomorrow, though, the winds shift a bit closer to the front, up to a 70% coverage of rain, 87 degrees. And then by Monday, we showed that the deeper oranges moving south. So we're going to lower that rain chance a little bit more to 40% and get a little bit of better grill out weather. So for our weather impact alert for Tampa, that's Sunday. That's tomorrow from 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Lightning and slick roads. So the big two. And we're going to talk more about lightning this morning. This is a big thing, okay? So we've already had, I know in late June, we've had folks struck by lightning in Georgia, I believe in the Waycross area. Lee can talk more about that. And we've had some lightning strikes here closer to Tampa. But let's take a look. Jeff, let's take a look at a new lightning equipment that's helping folks stay safe during some of these thunderstorms.
The ThorGuard system has a sensor that will be mounted up on the roof.
These rods going up on Coquina Beach and near the Anna Maria Island Cafe will help alert you to where a strike could happen. The lightning prediction system detects static electricity in the atmosphere and in the ground.
Once that charge reaches a high enough level, we know that there now has to be some sort of dissipation of that energy or a lightning strike. We then look for a build of the opposite charge in the ground. And we know that once that reaches a certain threshold, the two are going to connect, or in other words, a lightning strike is going to happen.
Once the sensor detects it, a horn will sound and a strobe light will go off.
We're super excited to have it to protect the citizens that come to our beaches here in Manatee County and go to our pools and our splash pads. It's a huge deal for the citizens here.
It is scary, but thank goodness you come up with something to help people on the beach because we have had deaths.
Crews installing the devices say it detects lightning in a range of about 2 miles in any direction of the sensor.
That will happen approximately 15 to 20 minutes before lightning hits within 2 miles of any direction of the sensor.
So, if you hear the horn or see the lights, you need to leave the area immediately. Frank Wiley, 10 Tampa Bay News.
So true. I mean, the urgency and what we're seeing so far this season is very concerning. A lot of folks thinking they're safe. It's dry. It's not raining outside. And the other thing, we always tell folks, you make sure you enable your notifications. The problem is this, Lee. What are your thoughts on this? Why don't we issue lightning warnings, especially when there's excessive lightning in the area, to actually alert people, because not everybody can hear the horn and sometimes you can't see the lightning because you're busy with your outdoor events. And literally this lightning strikes folks most of the time when it's not even raining outside.
You're absolutely right about that. That's what's always scary to see on radar, especially on a weekend day or some holiday active day where you see lightning striking sometimes 10 miles away from where it's raining. And so, yeah, there should be more lightning warnings, and these lightning detection systems are so important. I know we have them on our beaches here on the First Coast too, and it's just so important to heed that warning. You had mentioned the lightning strikes in Georgia.
Yes.
Just awful. 2 teenagers passing away. We also had 3 people struck by lightning on the pier in St. Augustine a couple weeks back as well. So it's just so important. That's why we say, although the saying can be annoying to some, but it's serious. When thunder roars, go indoors. If you hear thunder, you are close enough to be struck by lightning.
Right. Yes. Don't wait or hesitate, or it will be too late. So again, keep in mind, maybe that'll change in the future. No warnings right now for excessive lightning. And as we take a look at what happens here, again, a lot of times Lee and I are showing radar. We're trying to keep folks safe. We've got the storm trackers out. We're getting folks ready for possible damaging wind gusts, possible severe weather. And the last thing, the lightning part of the story sometimes can get lost in translation, where even if we're showing that storm coming your way in about 15, 20 minutes, we usually try to give a good window for you. Look what happens. You know, you're still outside, you're trying to hurry up and finish the lawn. I've been guilty of it. I'm trying to finish my yard work ahead of the storm. There's some rumbling of thunder on the horizon. Just picture this person with the lawnmower, and then look what happens. The storm's still a good 10 miles away, and a lot of times these cumulonimbus clouds can build to 4 or 5 miles high. That lightning will fly outside of the main parent cumulonimbus cloud, and unfortunately, a lot of the fatalities occur with the lightning strike coming way outside of the cloud. So just another reminder, lightning safety front and center for our Labor Day, because this is when we're out, right? This is when we're celebrating with family, friends. We've got the cookouts. We're trying to go to the beach here in Tampa, and right now I'm looking out the window, Lee, and we got beautiful sunny weather, but things can change in Florida in a very short time, in an instant. So again, it only takes one bolt, and we got to keep our guard up this weekend, especially here in Tampa by tomorrow, and of course for the first coast, it looks like through much of the weekend. So that's what we're tracking here from coast to coast. And Lee, what is it looks like? When will most of your lightning be with the daytime heating today?
Absolutely, yep, with the afternoon and early evening hours as what's more typical for this time of year. So this morning it's just been shower activity, but by the afternoon we can start to get those lightning strikes.
Yeah, in fact, I got a little graphic here. It's just showing the lightning here, 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. along the coast. And we've got a very vigorous west wind off the Gulf of Mexico here. So it looks like we're sending you some of that trouble, because once the sea breezes meet, it's likely going to be over the I-95 corridor, even to your beaches with that northeast movement. So again, we're in a severe weather risk. Again, this can be deceiving. Oh, you're saying, okay, 0 out of 5. All right, we're okay, but just keep in mind, only takes one bolt here, and it looks like the whole state keeping our guard up, again, for the lightning as we head through Labor Day weekend. And as we illuminate this map here, this is a 4 o'clock scenario. Notice here in Tampa, Lee, we're pretty clear, okay? So I said the best chance would be closer to the morning hours along the coast. It's much like when you get the east breeze. You get the showers in the morning, and then they move west. It's the exact opposite in Tampa. It's pretty interesting to watch. And then notice you got down toward southern St. Johns County, Crescent Beach, St. Augustine could get very active in a hurry as we head toward the 4 o'clock hour. And you notice really most of the rain is centered along the east coast based on where that sea breeze is moving in for sure. So I know you'll keep folks safe and ready there along the first coast.
And just looking at your map, looking at Alachua County, another area we'll have to watch. I don't want to jump ahead yet, but we're going to talk about sports here in a moment. But lots of people outside tailgating, going to the game. Just be aware of those storms out there too. Keep your shelter nearby. Yeah, take it away, Lee. Great segue. And you've got a Gator forecast for us Gator fans. Oh, you're right. I have to, respect the other fans too. So if we could pull up my graphics, what we're going to do, I'm going to start with the University of Georgia for my dogs. Because it looks good out there. Honestly, this is the best football forecast for the 3 games that we're keeping a close eye on here. So if you're going to Athens, you might drive through rain. You likely will drive through some showers, but then once you get there, game time looks good, mostly dry in Athens. We go over to Tallahassee, Florida State University. You can see the cloud cover out there. You guys will have showers around during your kickoff 3:30 as well. And then we're also keeping an eye on Gainesville. Right now you see some of those clouds out there, and we will have the opportunity, unfortunately, for some thunderstorms later on today, afternoon and evening hours. So here's a look at all 3 games, and as mentioned, Athens is the best forecast. So 82 degrees at kickoff at 3:30 in Tallahassee, and all the Bama fans. We had lots of Bama fans here too, likely traveling to Tallahassee. 82 degrees and some showers around, and traveling along I-10 from Jacksonville, or if you're going north on I-75, just watch out for those showers out there too on the road. And then for anyone heading to Gainesville, we'll have to keep a close eye on the thunderstorms too. But at least, Mike, at least the temperature is not too awful. We have had some brutally hot first season games that we'll have to
tell me about
today at least.
Yes.
Yeah. I as long as there's no lightning, like we just talked about, no severe weather, no lightning, I would take a shower to stay cooler out there. And then one more graphic I have for my Jacksonville people before I toss it back to you in Tampa. We do have the jumbo shrimp game tonight. Going to show you this because we talked about it earlier with Jasmine throwing out that first pitch. She's going to do amazing. I'm forecasting a great first pitch for her, but there will still be rain around. So I think the takeaway is if you're going to the jumbo shrimp game, If you're going to the UF game, if you're going to Bama at FSU, bring a poncho just in case, because there will be showers around Mike that we'll have to be watching out for all of these games.
Amen. Great job there, Lee. And I tell you what, so for the games, I know if we make our picks, we're on the same page with the Gators. I have them winning 63-0. Okay, so 60 points plus. So I think they'll cover that. I'm going to start, and then for the Noles, I mean, they've got a quarterback that's supposed to be pretty good, but they're playing Alabama. What do you think on that? I mean, what are you going to go with that game? Huh?
I'm going to go Bama on
Okay.
that.
We're 2 for 2.
I hope that. Yeah, I hope my Riley Phillips, an anchor here, one of my best friends, huge Seminole.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, Danae in the back right now, our director.
Danae, I'm sorry.
Do you want to come over here, Danae, and show him your shirt?
Yeah, Danae, I want to see it.
Do you want to come make a pic? Come
That would be
on, come
great.
make a feature. Hold on, he's coming.
Danae, there's
Okay.
hope. I mean, they're
What's
at
your
home.
shirt say?
Anything can happen. It's first game.
Can you see this?
Oh, right.
I don't
Hear
want
the
to
spear. I love it.
We're just throwing a little gator chomp there real quick. So
Very
he's
good.
booing me for picking Bama, but so
Wow.
you know who he's picking.
Yeah, well, anything can happen, and I'll definitely be watching. I can't wait for some football. And my picture, I said we'll go to our big sporting events here in Tampa. Let's start, first of all, with Bo. I'm sure you've heard of my grand dog that lives in Missouri. There he is, and he's got his Gator bandana on. So, Danae, check that out. That's what we call some real swag there. Oh, look at that
Yeah,
smile.
you think that's cute, Danae? Okay, he says he loves it, so that's good. Yeah, you can't be mean to a dog.
Thank you. Yeah, so Bo, he's all excited. He loves his treats. He's going to be running around, but he's going to be watching the Gators, of course, tonight. So we love all of your pet pictures. I know Jacksonville First Coast News, we've got an unbelievable weather watcher network there as well. So keep those pictures coming from Tampa to Jacksonville. And our big event, maybe I just go in front of the board for this, Jeff. I mean, this is a big event. We got the Sporting Jacks from Jacksonville, Florida, visiting Blake High School tonight. 8 o'clock, the game starts, and they're visiting the world champion Sun, the Tampa Bay Sun. And basically, Lee, the Tampa Bay Sun, they're very involved in the community. And I've had the fortune of going to a few of the ladies' games, and the talent is off the charts. So for Jack Sport and Sporting Jacks, I sometimes say Jack Sport, but Sporting Jacks coming to town, it's going to be a great opponent. And yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun out there at Blake High School. And it's officially called, I know, the Suncoast Credit Union Field forecast today at 8 o'clock. But they have these food trucks. It's not just about the sports with me, it's about the food, and some of the best food I've ever had. So notice if you're heading out to the soccer game tonight, we've got low to mid 80s. There's a couple models coming in. We're going to have to keep an eye on this. We're good getting to the game dry. I think the game stays dry, but we may have to increase that rain chance after 9 o'clock. Right now, we'll just keep it at 20%. We'll wait for some more data to come in, but just for your drive home, it could be a little change, and maybe take the poncho as well. But good news in the sporting front. We've got sports back on the field, on the gridiron, some great soccer here, Lee. And we want to wrap this up. Okay, so we, of course, yesterday had a big anniversary in the tropics. And the big theme I had this morning is how lucky we are. It's okay we're getting some rain, that we don't have any big threats here, because that's not always the case, right?
Absolutely. As we're approaching the peak of hurricane season, historically we've had some bad hurricanes hit this time of year, but I know what you're talking about, one of the most devastating hurricanes the U.S. has seen.
So yesterday, of course, was the 20th anniversary. Hard to believe, but here's more on Hurricane Katrina.
20 years after Hurricane Katrina devastated New Orleans, you can see signs of the new life in the city. These houses are an example of the recovery in the lower Ninth Ward, one of the city's most affected areas. Angelica Rivera is one of the many workers who helped bring it back to life. Is the New Orleans you see today the same New Orleans you came to?
No, not at all.
With small children, one barely a few months old, she moved from Orlando after the storm, following her husband, a handyman who saw an opportunity working in construction.
I'm not gonna lie, I cried a couple times because I was like, I don't want to be here.
Because basic services like drinking water and electricity were slow to return. But they didn't give up. Growing their business from a small team only doing house framing to a full-service construction company, helping many homeowners who they say were swindled by contractors who took their money and left town.
So a lot of people were without money and without a house.
Their growth was fueled by thousands of workers who came from across the country and outside the U.S. to work in construction.
Because most of the people that was here was Latinos.
who worked in difficult conditions, battling the intense heat and humidity to rebuild this iconic American city. Their efforts are celebrated in this sculpture in the infamous 9th Ward, ground zero of the deadly floods.
I really believe that they were key in trying to get the New Orleans area back.
Dr. Juan Hershanik commissioned the sculpture after speaking with children of those workers, who he says were shy about their parents' profession. He wanted them to be proud of the work their parents did.
Undoubtedly, that was my first goal.
High praise coming from a person considered one of the heroes of the post-Katrina tragedy, evacuating premature babies out of the hospital, manually blowing oxygen to one of them for hours, accolades he'd rather be given to others.
The understanding of how much the contribution of the Latinos was made during the post-Katrina recovery times.
Many of those came thinking their stay in the Big Easy would be temporary, but now they call it home. According to the U.S. Census, the Hispanic population of metropolitan New Orleans has doubled in the past 20 years. The number of Black and white residents has decreased.
Someone say that if you drink water from the Mississippi River, you stay in New Orleans and you will never leave. I think I did that because this is our home now.
Wow. Okay, Lee. So over 1 million folks displaced, storm surge of 28 feet plus, just a powerful hurricane. And the good news in the tropics, we're wrapping this up here in the next 30 seconds, is much quieter at this time. But another reason we have to stay prepared and trust those local sources.
Always have your hurricane plan ready to go, just in case.
Good advice. And thanks, Lee. And of course, in the tropics right now, we have a wave we're watching coming off Africa, a very low chance of development. And I think as we head toward the peak season, the second, third week of September, things will pick up. So stay prepared, stay tuned, and of course, have a wonderful Labor Day weekend.